This is Jaime Tojos from Nerdbot, and I am speaking with Cody, who is with Valence Saber.
Hello, everybody. It's Cody Freelan at Valence Saber here.
Tell me, what is Valence Saber?
Valence Saber is actually a revolutionary new saber that I developed all on my own with the help of my father-in-law and my wife to really try to answer the question of why can't everyone on the planet have a lighted saber that really truly allows you to customize it and use just one saber for every type of situation you might want to find yourself in, whether you're a combat choreographer, whether you're a cosplayer, or whether you're just playing around. I wanted to have a saber for everyone that you don't have to go out and buy a really, really, really expensive saber, several hundreds of dollars, $800, $900 to get you what you're looking for. But at the same time, it's going to be durable and last for a long time.
Sounds awesome. So the hilts of the Valence Sabers, what are they made out of?
The hilt is actually going to be an alloy of aluminum, and it's going to be extruded, actually. So we're not actually machining these hilts like 99% of the handles out there that are done are machined CNC, curved or straight. And that's a cool thing to do it, but it's costly and takes a long time. With us, we're going ahead and actually having them extruded. So they're designed specifically to be extruded, which is a fantastic methodology for those things. They're very strong, sturdy aluminum.
With the aluminum, how heavy would the hilts be?
Oh, they're incredibly lightweight. They're probably approximately 5 to 6 ounces just by themselves, and that's
with
very
electronics
lightweight
and everything in it?
No, not with the electronics. Our circuit board is very lightweight, obviously. It's just a small 4.5-inch circuit board with the components on it, so that's not very heavy. The heaviness in the handle will actually come from the customized battery unit. The battery unit in the product is actually specially designed just for us. You can't go and get a AAA or AA battery and just replace that in the handle. You actually have to use our special battery pack. But that allows us to put more power, more runtime, and allow you to also charge that battery pack in the handle and out of the handle using your current cell phone charger. We are packaging a USB-C to USB-A cable with them. So take your current smartphone charger, computer charger, whatever, and just charge your battery pack for the Valence Saber.
Oh, that is super convenient. Well,
absolutely.
I was reading on the Indiegogo that there's no buttons on the hilts. So how do you turn it on and off?
Yeah, that's one of the things I really wanted to address with the Valence Saber as opposed to every other saber out there. So I'm a combat choreographer. I've got 10 years of experience doing that and 6 years doing lightsaber combat choreography. All the sabers that I've been using for the past 10 years have been from companies like Ultra Sabers and Saber Force, Advanced Light Weaponry, and I love their products. Their products are fantastic. I've been using them for a long time, but unfortunately they have buttons. So in the middle of performances, all my fellow choreographers, we accidentally turn off our sabers because it's hard to not hit that button when you're doing all the fancy moves and stuff. So I designed the thing with no buttons, and it's controlled via motion. So when you swing your saber in a circle, any direction, doesn't matter, you activate the saber. It turns on, and then through the various motions you'll have, such as swinging, hitting another saber, or locking up with another saber, you get various motion effects that control the light and the sound on the saber. And since there's no button to turn it back off, the way we designed the turn off feature is you just actually set your saber down, or you hold it still, or you can move it very, very slowly. And the accelerometer on the circuit board will detect that there's not been a great amount of movement over a set period of time, and it turns off your saber.
Oh, wow. So with the features of the phone app that I'd like to get into next, is it possible to kind of time the turn-off time for something like that? Right
now, the way the mobile application is set up, we don't have the functionality to control the timer. As the crowdfunding campaign goes on, though, that is one of the first features that we're going to add to the application, is the ability to adjust the timer. So if you want it to turn off faster or slower, then you have that ability directly from the smartphone application. And to discuss the smartphone application really quickly, it's a Bluetooth-controlled smart device. It's on Android right now. We're going to get it to iOS and Windows during this crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. And in the smartphone application, you have the ability to instantly change your Valence Saber to one of 31 different colors. So every Valence Saber comes with 31 colors capable from the smartphone at the beginning. So you don't need a button for each different color. It's just already there. You just touch one of the color squares on the color page on the application, and boom, your Saber will change to white, green, yellow, pink, blue, gold, whatever, orange, you name it, it's there. And the same thing with the sound. There's 12 different sound packages, and you can instantly choose which sound package you want by pressing a button on the smartphone. And you can also turn off each individual sound effect if you don't want them to play in your Saber. You can also adjust the volume so your Saber can get quieter or louder just from your smartphone.
No one has done that at all and be that convenient to do it on a smartphone.
Yeah, I've seen some mobile applications that have just come out on a couple of different Sabers, but they're either incredibly complicated. You actually have to have a little bit of coding or experience in proprietary software to be able to actually make the Saber function the way you're looking for, and you still normally have to hook it to a computer. It's very inconvenient. With ours, we took out all of the high-tech, but the very complicated coding and stuff like that you normally have to do, and made it an incredibly simple user interface on the smartphone. It's literally just press a button, you've got your color, you've got your sound. You don't have to worry about anything else. And it's the first time that's ever been done. You're absolutely right.
That is amazing. So I was also reading on the Indiegogo page that your lighting source is LED strips. Now, most Saber companies out there use like bulbs within their helps. Why did you guys go with the LED strips?
Well, I don't like the flashlight effect, for the first thing. Whenever you have a Saber out there that just has an LED bulb in the hilt, that you turn it on, it works just like a flashlight, shoots the light down the polycarbonate tube. If you look straight down it, it's very bright. It's like looking at a flashlight, and nobody wants to do that. And at the same time, you always get this base flare effect, where the base of the blade is really bright, and then it gets really dim towards the tip, and you can see that gradient difference. It's not very appealing to the eye to see a Saber that looks bright at the base and then dim at the tip. Well, there are a lot of Saber makers out there who do LED strands, should I say, but they're not strips. They're actually individually soldered LEDs that go down the length of the Saber, and that gives you the effect you're looking for. Complete, same brightness along the entire strip, and it's beautiful and fantastic. But that is it's really expensive, and it's a lot of work. And unfortunately, every one of those solder points is a place for failure. You hit the blade enough, you can break that solder point, and you lose a whole strand of LEDs. So you've got these dim spots along the blade where your LEDs are broken. We use a flexible substrate circuit board. It's difficult to explain. Imagine if you take a string or a rope and you move it about. It's a really flexible substrate. You can spin it in a circle, whatever you need. And the entirety of the strip, every 1.3 inches, there are 3 RGB LED lenses, not bulbs. There are no bulbs on this thing. They're all lenses. They're flat. And they allow us to change complete colors, and you don't have to worry about solder points. It's on like a circuit board trace. So it's almost impossible to break. In fact, I've never broken an LED strip using them for 2 years now.
Oh, wow. So, because I remember a long time ago when practically the only Sabers out there were master replicas. And the big problem with those were the broken LEDs in the blade itself. Like, you guys
Correct.
Figured out a way to eliminate all that and make it dual worthy.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. You normally, the only way to break these LED strips is to actually take a pair of scissors and cut them. And besides doing that, you do have the possibility of an LED failure, just like you have with anything. An LED has a limited amount of time it can run, and sometimes there's a fault, so they can break that way. But as far as taking impact and breaking, it's almost impossible to do that.
My next question is going to be about the battery source. Now, for the internal battery, how long will it last?
Tests on that, it lasts for about an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes, maybe a little higher if you turn down the volume and you, of course, run in the colors that don't require as much power, such as red. That doesn't require as much power to run, say, such as a light purple or a white color.
Okay, so let's say somebody's going to a convention, they want to use the Saber. They can just easily bring like an external like phone charger with them, plug it in, and it'll start charging, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a slot right on the side of the handle for your USB-C to connect right onto the circuit board to charge your battery in the handle. And since they're not individual like AA or AAA battery cells, or they're not permanently soldered in like some other battery packs, you can actually hot swap your battery packs. So you can have 1 or 2 extra battery packs that are already charged and just take the one out of your handle, plug in another one, and you're already good to go again. And while the battery pack that has been drained is out of the handle, you can stick that on your phone charger, charge that guy up outside of the handle, and have it ready to go again when it's done charging.
Oh, because that is very convenient for the convention goers out there, because, you know, sometimes they get, you know, bad batteries or something, they die, and they're stuck with a lightsaber that's not working. So
yeah, that's absolutely right. I took a lot of time to design this for choreographers and for the costume people. I do character costumes. Just last night, I would have had a big lightsaber thing going on for the premiere of the movie, and I was in costume and doing all my things. And the battery packs are just so much more convenient than having individual little AAA or AA batteries rolling around somewhere. You have to keep track of them. With our battery packs, you can put them on your costume and your accessory belt and just take them out and hook them right up and go from there.
That's awesome. So I on the Indiegogo site, you have your intro video about the Saber. I was wondering, when are we going to see a working prototype video where you go over the features?
Actually, I do have a couple of prototypes that are working just fine. We should be able to see a working prototype video this coming up week, probably towards the end of the week, where I go over individual features on how it works. I do actually have some video already going over the individual features. Decided not to put that as the main video on the Indiegogo, just because we want people to see the Sabers themselves, and more technical things are already in the works.
That's awesome. Can't wait to see that. So tell me about the stretch goals on the Indiegogo site.
All right, so the stretch goals we have set up right now on the Indiegogo site, as you can tell, the very first one is very simple. It says we're going to update the app to add a couple of features and make it available for iOS and Windows. We decided to develop for Android first, and we definitely have the ability to put it over to iOS and Windows very simply. It's not a problem. But one of the big goals in there is to give the application and the Saber itself the ability to completely customize the color. So when we add RGB color sliders to the application, it will allow a person to slide one of the 3 color sliders, or all 3 of them, to put it in any amount of power going out to that particular strip for the color on the LEDs, and you can customize the color. And when I say customize, I mean 64,000 colors.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell, you know, if this color is truly different from this one when you have that many color choices. But the idea is, if someone really likes this particular shade of teal, they get to have that particular shade of teal. Why shouldn't they have that particular shade of teal? And we give them that choice. And instead of putting in like a color wheel or a color palette, we want to do a slider, because with a color wheel or a color palette, when you're talking about touching on a mobile phone, you're never going to be accurate enough to find that point on the color wheel that you really, really want to stay at. Well, with the color sliders, you can actually just adjust it and visually determine what you want to see. And that's what we're going to do with the first update on the application. And the second update on the application is going to be to add drag and drop custom sound fonts. So right now you have 12 different sound packages, and you choose from those sound packages, and they each have 20 different sounds on them. So you've got 240 total sound effects on there. Well, what we're going to allow you to do is take your own sounds and just drag and drop them into the application as long as they fit the file format, and set it on whichever motion effect you want it to be on. So if you want to hear Godzilla roar when you turn on your Saber, you're going to be able to hear Godzilla roar every time you turn on your saber. That's what we want people to be able to do. And instead of using proprietary custom software where you have to hook the phone up to your computer and do all this stuff, no. We're just making it real easy, drag and drop. Put that right in your application. The last update, the stretch goal that we have listed right now, is quick connect caps. And you're like, well, that's kind of strange, right? Well, no. Right now, the caps are threaded in, just like a majority of saber caps out there. You just thread it onto the end of the handle to keep everything inside of the saber from coming on out. Well, I have a design for a new cap, a cap that's not been done before, that basically allows you to just click it into the bottom. It'll grip inside with a couple of little feet. And to get the cap off, all you do is squeeze the sides of the cap in a couple of places, and it will move those legs that'll be on springs and allow you to take the cap right off without having to thread it on, thread it off. That actually allows us quick disconnects for the saber staff. See, the Valence Saber, every one of them, they connect with another one right now to make a saber staff. But you have to thread them on and thread them off, which takes a little time. It's still very convenient, but I want that quick connect cap there so people who will have a saber staff in a duel or something, they can get the thing, cut in half in quotes, and they instantly switch over to have two sabers. So it's just a really fantastic idea for a cap that's never been done before.
Yeah, because I know, there's a lot of choreographing out there. They want to kind of recreate the Phantom Menace fight scene with Darth Maul, but they can't stand there unscrewing the couplers for the saber staff during the choreography. So that is very convenient to have. To just quickly squeeze, pull, done. Two sabers.
Yeah, and that's exactly, that Darth Maul fight is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this quick connect cap, because, saber staffs are fantastic. People love them, and having a saber that is always able to go into a saber staff is also, that's not been done before either. Normally with a saber, in order to get it to link to another, you have to get a special cap, or you have to get your saber handle made so that that threads onto another saber handle that's made specifically to go with that one. I opted to just go around all that, make every saber link together, and then designing these quick connect caps is fantastic, so people can do, just like you said, quick disconnects and make a saber staff into two sabers and back and forth.
Last question, Cody. What are the plans for the future? Are there going to be like a cover tech option? Is there going to be like a blade plug that you can carry, so you just carry the hilt around? And for conventions, is there going to be interchangeable parts? What's in store for the future?
All right, some of the things in store for the future I can't talk about because they're secret, because again, they're the first time some of these design ideas have actually ever been made and implemented. Right. And so I can't give away the trade secrets right now. But what I can tell you is the one of the first big goals I want to do is actually produce a Shoto sabers. So your smaller single-handed offhand sabers, great for younger teens and great for people who want to do dual blades, but they don't want to have two full-size sabers in the hand. Well, you're going to get a Shoto blade. So it's a shorter handle, shorter blade, and we can't just go and put a shorter blade on your current Valence Saber because of the LED strips. It requires engineering to change that. You can't just interchange them, of course.
Right.
The other thing we want to be able to do is we want to be able to add ornate handles. So the handle was designed specifically so that it doesn't have any buttons, it doesn't have any cosmetics, so you can use it for choreography, for dueling. It also looks great as actually a battle handle. So if a costume person wants to walk out with a Valence Saber, they can say, I fight on the battlefield as a soldier. My handle is designed for fighting and not for temple guard or anything like that. But given that the costume community is a big part of this, we want to give them ornate handles. And actually, we're working on a special design that doesn't necessarily offer a bunch of different handles, but offers a unique twist on being able to keep the same handle and change its design without ever having to switch to a different saber. So nice. Look for that to come down the pipeline during the Indiegogo campaign.
Nice, because I love customizing sabers. I love just getting parts, putting it together, and making something that is of my own. And now with Valence Sabers, that is possible. That is, and
yes,
a lot more convenient.
Absolutely. That's one of the big things that everybody I've talked with so far has really loved. They love the idea of you can actually finally have a single saber that can go with every costume you want it to ever get into. You can get into 50 different costumes, and you don't never need to change your saber. You just have the one saber, and it does what you need it to do. And I'm going to allow those people who want more than just this ergonomic, minimalist, sleek handle, I'm going to allow them to have a special design feature that allows them to have these ornate handles when they're in those costumes that require that at the same time. And their saber will still be dual-worthy at the same time.
Oh, I cannot wait for that to happen. So, Cody from Valence Sabers, do you have any last words you'd like to share?
Yeah, everybody just go and check out the Indiegogo page that's going on right now. We still have a few early bird specials going on, so you can get your saber at a really low price. Competitive pricing is an understatement for our product. We've been able to design this thing and get the right setup of manufacturing that allows us to give this saber out to the community at a price point that a lot more people can afford it than would traditionally think you can afford a saber like this. It has more features, more customization options than any other saber that's ever been created. Even one-off custom sabers don't have as many custom features as this does, but it's inexpensive enough that everybody can afford it. The quality is also second to none. I've not, like I said, I've not broken the LED strips in 2 years. I've never broken a blade on this guy. It's just a fantastic opportunity for everybody who wants to have a saber to finally get the saber that you've always been waiting for.
That is awesome, because I have been waiting for a long time for something like this to happen.
Yeah, and I thought it was about time to do it, so I decided to make my own, and here it is.
Well, thank you very much, Cody, for the interview here. This is Jaime from Nerdbot, and I can't wait to do a product review on a Valence Saber.